Puja. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagavati Sarva Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagavati Sarva Pandumu Isabadana Mate Pandumu Isabadana Mate Yar prasadi bhai hi babatu hi aja Krishna prabhi hoya hoite Krishna Prabhu hoya hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koi Aikya Harana Guri Omane Hasha Harana Guri Omane Hasha Shri Guru Charani Radhi Hesi Undabhagati He prasadi buri sarva hasha He prasadi muri sarva hasha Chakudani Luje, Chame Chame Prabhu Se. Divingani de Bogasino. Prema Bhaktiya Huinde Avida Vidasayate. Didiga Jahara Charito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Hanumaja Narabado. Lokeda Jivana. Ha Prabhu Godadoya Teyamore Parachaya. Vinegar Nismundri Bhuvana. Srila Prabhupada Panita Pavana. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnaya Bhutale Shrimani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswani Deve Gauravani Prachanine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pasyacharya Shatanine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajak Acharya Astotara Satasi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajak Acharya Astotara Satasi Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sakho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Ganga Maya Ki Jamuna Maya Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Again. Will you allocate somebody to move the mics?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'd like to encourage everybody to come and use the seats that have been so well laid out for you. It would be nice if you come and give us your close association also. Particularly the men's side looks a little empty and all the men are sitting in the back. Thank you very much for assembling here today on this Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Temple Love Feast. And in a little while we will announce what's going to happen. But as we have done it every Sunday now, there will be a video on by Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Nashwin. You can show that.
So, the Krishna consciousness movement is so nice that it makes a person perfect in everything. Perfect in knowledge, perfect in strength, perfect in age, everything. We need so many things. So, this perfection of life, the process, how to make life perfect, is coming down from Krishna. Krishna is the origin of everything. Therefore the knowledge of perfection is also coming from him. And periodically means after millions and millions of years, Krishna comes. He comes once in a day of Brahma. So, Brahma's days, even one day, the span of one day, it is very difficult to calculate. Sahasra Juga Parjantam Araha Jad Brahmano Vidu. The Brahmas, one day means about 433 millions of years. So in each day of Brahma, Krishna comes. Once in a day. That means after a period of 433 millions of years, he comes. Why? To give perfect knowledge of life. How a human being should live to make his life perfect. So, the Bhagavad Gita is there, spoken by Krishna in this millennium, in this day. Now, Brahma's Monday, we are passing through the 28th million. Now, for 28th, in Brahma's day, there are 71 Manus. And one Manu leads for, that is also many millions of years. 72 many. So we are not interested now about calculation, the perfect knowledge. This perfect knowledge comes from God or Krishna, and it is distributed by parampara system, by disciplic succession. The example is, just there a mango tree, on the top of the mango tree there is a very ripened fruit, and that fruit has to be tasted. So if I drop the fruit from up, it will be lost. Therefore, it is handed over after one, and then it comes down. So all Vedic process of knowledge is taken from the authority. And it comes down through disciplic succession. Just like I have already explained, Krishna gives the knowledge, perfect knowledge, to Brahma, and Brahma gives the knowledge to Narada. Narada gives the knowledge to Vyas. Vyas gives the knowledge to Madhyacharya. Madhyacharya gives the knowledge to his disciplic succession. Later on to Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri gives that knowledge to Ishwar Puri. Ishwar Puri gives that knowledge to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, he delivers that knowledge to his immediate disciples, 6 Goswamis. The 6 Goswamis delivers the knowledge to Srinivasa Acharya, Jiva Goswami, then Kaviraj Goswami, then Vishwanath Chakravarti, then Jagannath Das Babaji, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, then my spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, then we are distributing the same knowledge.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki. So thank you very much for assembling here again, and we are very, very fortunate to have in our midst very senior devotees and 3 of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj will be here. So I'm going to ask our speakers. Today we're going to have all 4 of them speak, but we decided we're going to do it as a panel discussion, and I will explain how that will work. So I'll ask Shuddhi Prabhu, Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj to come up in the meantime. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj is here. As you wish. Where's Ramanuja? Where's Ramanuja? I have no idea. Hare Krishna. So we're also expecting His Grace Ramanujacharya Prabhu to join this very illustrious team of devotees we have in front. So let us, all of us, welcome to this panel discussion all of our very senior devotees. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj ki, His Grace Shuddhi Prabhu ki, His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj ki. So how many of you are coming for the first time today? How many of you are coming for the first time today? Let's see. Well, welcome. Keep your hands up. Everybody, please welcome them to Radharani Temple. So you're very fortunate. We have to address us today very, very senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And this Sunday Love Feast from 11 to 1 is a regular thing. And you are welcome every Sunday and other days. Please join us. So His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj is the co-GBC for South Africa and the head of ISKCON South Africa. He travels widely, he preaches all over the world. He's very well known for his scholarship and Maharaj he joined the Hare Krishna movement in 1973 and resides here, based here in South Africa, travels all around the world. So there are several services Maharaj has done from his inception in Krishna consciousness, from being in BBT, GBC member, GBC chairperson, and his interests, from which we have the benefit, is photography, his filming, his writing, and taking devotees on pilgrimages throughout the holy places in India. His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj, he's originally from India, and as a younger person, his career was in the Indian military. And he had the first contact with devotees in July 1986. Subsequently, he was in Gaborone, Botswana, and there he took initiation from His Holiness Krishnadas Swami Maharaj, his sannyas initiation from Lokanath Swami Maharaj. So he also served as a temple president there for a short while, and now he travels all over the world. He speaks Telugu and Hindi, and he's also very proficient in Ramayan. So we're very happy to have Maharaj here with us. His Grace Shuddhi Prabhu, who's seated right here next to me, He's from the United States of America, and having joined ISKCON in 1970 at Laguna Beach, California, initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1971 in Mumbai. And he is the first devotee to set foot here in South Africa in September 1972. And he's given us the momentum of Krishna consciousness here by his efforts. So when Ramanujacharya Prabhu comes and about to speak, then I will introduce him there. So the way we're going to do it today, Maharajas, Prabhu, is that we want to have this panel discussion. The topic is quite broad. It's Srila Prabhupada, inspiration and connection with his disciples. So I think it's fairly broad. So what we're going to do is that each one of you will have about 7 to 8 minutes to make an opening statement on Srila Prabhupada, whatever you want to. And thereafter, we will field questions. So I'd like you all to keep your cell phones on silent, but take my number. I'm going to give it to you now. And you can keep it, even for future reference if you need help. 084. Don't all do it at once. 084 40 20 251. Now save that number, and why I've given you my number is in the course of the discussion, you will have questions, you send it to my WhatsApp. And I will ask the question, as many as we can possibly ask in the time. All right? Is that good? 084 40 20 251. So we'd ask His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj to address us. I have a timekeeper, and he'll be seated in the front row with a little slip, and he'll hold it up to say you have 2 minutes, and then he'll turn it around to say you have 1 minute. Then you know to round it up. Please be seated, Sham, on the seat so they can see you. Sit there. I should, Gonita, just switch with Prabhu. Thank you. Maharaj.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschya Deshatarane Vanchikalpatrudabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes, well, Srila Prabhupada, I first saw him in Auckland, New Zealand, which is my birthplace this lifetime. I was at university and I was studying philosophy, and Srila Prabhupada came. It's a bit of a long story, of course, what happened when he came, but in essence, what happened was that, at least happened to me, is that I was studying philosophy. I was from a sort of, I was from officially a Christian background, although my family were not serious about it at all, just very nominal at best. But I was educated at an Anglican school, and we had Bible classes a few times a week for like 12 years. So, I was fairly well informed, you could say. And then Prabhupada came, and Prabhupada spoke, and I could understand that he's talking about God. It's the same subject, you could say, that I've been hearing about for so many years. But Prabhupada was talking in very philosophical terms, not just believe this, have faith in that, and those types of ideas, but it was very logical, and that really struck me because that was my specialty, was philosophy and trying to understand things in such ways that it all makes sense. So that really struck me, that Prabhupada was making sense. And so it went very deep into my heart. And I was, just from that time, I was really, it really changed my way of thinking in very profound ways. It was remarkable, actually. And so that was April 1972. Then eventually I ended up in London, and on January the 7th, actually, the anniversary will be in 3 days, I moved into our temple in London as a guest, and here I am. I'm still here as a guest. Yes. So those some thoughts about Srila Prabhupada from me, yeah. That's okay. No, let's just carry on.
Caught my breath.
His Grace Ramanujacharya Prabhu ki. Ramanujacharya Prabhu joined ISKCON in 1969. And he's came here in 1974 prior to Prabhupada arriving in 75. And he was part of that team that looked after Prabhupada while he was here. Ramanujacharya Prabhu cooked for Srila Prabhupada. And now he's a very respected resident here at our temple, a musician, a philosopher. He gives classes. He was part of Bhaktivedanta College of Education and Culture, as well as he's written a few books for the temple. Particularly prominent is the Handbook of Vaishnava Practices. Most of us are using that. So I'll hand over to Ramanujacharya Prabhu. You have 7 or 8 minutes to give an opening statement about Srila Prabhupada, and then we'll pass it to the next speaker, and until we finish all the speakers.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Garvani Pacharane Nivishesha Shinyabadi Paschajade Shatane. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna on this earth, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O servant of Saraswati, for you have so kindly taught the message of Lord Chaitanya in the Western world, which is full of impersonalism and voidism. That last prayer Prabhupada wrote about himself, and there was a disciple of Prabhupada from India named Kshiradakshaya, and he asked, but what about the rest of the world? Your pranam mantra says you delivered the Western country, and Prabhupada said, that is my contribution to the disciplic succession. So, I was raised as a Roman Catholic. I went to Catholic schools, studied Latin, and but somehow it didn't catch but I was looking for God. And I was praying, I want to know who you are, God, whoever you are. That's there's the prayer of the atheist. You know, the prayer of the agnostic. Oh God, if there is one, please save my soul, if I have one. So that's the prayer of the agnostic. Agnostic is different from an atheist. Atheist says there is no God. Agnostic says, I don't know if there is a God or not, which is a little bit more honest. So at that time we had the counterculture, popularly known as the hippie movement. And at the same time, the Vietnam War was going on. And they wanted to induct the young men to go and fight in Vietnam to defend America. I mean, most of us had never heard of Vietnam. And so I didn't really have much trust in my parents or the Catholic Church or the American government. And I was studying I had a copy of the New Testament, which I was reading. I was reading books on Buddhism. I went to the Zen Center. And I saw a monk in San Francisco. I went to San Francisco because that's where it was all happening. And I saw a Buddhist monk, and I said, are you a Buddhist monk? He said, yes. I said, I'm reading books by Alan Watts. He said, don't read Alan Watts, read D.T. Suzuki. So anyway, I even went to the Zen Center. I was searching for God. But none of these yogis that I came across in San Francisco really affected me. But then I saw the devotees having kirtan. See, I have a little bit of a background in music. I was in the church choir. And in high school, I was in the glee club. My friends and I, we used to sing in this coffee house on the weekends called The Exit. Yeah, that's a good idea. We want to exit the material world. So we were singers, and we played guitar, played harmonica. And then I saw the devotees having kirtan. And I found the temple on Frederick Street, which was it was a storefront. You don't have so many around. It used to be, you'd have like a store, and there'd be a big front window, glass window, and the storekeeper would put his wares in the front. And then usually they would have an apartment above it, and they would live there. So it was a storefront, and Prabhupada was preaching there. And but he wasn't there when I first went. And then I learned that there was an LP, which means long playing record, 33 1/3 rotations per minute, RPM. So they were selling them at the temple, but there was a store that sold records down the street called the Rock Shop. And their price was cheaper, so I bought it there. And somehow it got into my mind that for spiritual life I should be a vegetarian, but I didn't know how to do it. So I started coming every day and Actually, before that, I was a bicycle messenger in San Francisco. Couldn't do it now. 2. Anyway, I saw Prabhupada. Prabhupada came for Rath Yatra in Golden Gate Park. And I bought the Hare Krishna record, which I still listen to now. Same one that was recorded in New York. And then I saw Prabhupada speak at the Family Dog Auditorium. It was part of the Rath Yatra. And he said, I can understand that many young people in this country are frustrated. He said, you should be frustrated. This material world is a frustrating place. And my mother said the same thing, that this life is full of disappointments. So Prabhupada asked us, he was quoting Narottam Das Thakur, asking us to chant Hare Krishna and take prasadam. And finally I started coming to the temple. Then I joined, and Jayananda shaved my head, with a clipper. And I was proud of my long blonde hair. It was down to my shoulders. I was really attached to it and had to give it up. And I said, can we keep it? He said, yeah, we can wait till we're having we can doing a play and we can use it for the demon's outfit. Anyway, through different ISKCON authorities, I went to India, Kenya, South Africa, back to America, the UK. But I always liked Durban, South Africa. And so here I am. I'm a South African citizen. So I think I have to end. Otherwise I'll get in trouble.
Thank you very much, Ramanujacharya Prabhu. There will be opportunities to respond again because the audience is going to ask questions, and then we'll field
to me.
to the panel,
okay.
to the panel. So everybody. We'll now ask Shuri Prabhu to address us.
All right, Hare Krishna. So boy, Ramanujacharya, a.k.a. Goldilocks, came in the 60s, and I didn't come till the 70s. Because it was January 5th, 1970, so it's just short of 56 years. But I had to start early because the rest of you were like more advanced. Like when they have the boat race, the slow boats go out first, because otherwise they'll be way behind. So Prabhupada plants the seeds for us. I went to see a bunch of bands play at the Orange County Fairgrounds. And this was a couple years ago. Well, 1967, I guess it's more than a couple of years ago. But at the end, the people there was different food booths there. And the Mystic Arts people had the vegetarian food booth. And they got together and there was one big guy, his name was Tiny. And I said, what's this song you're singing? He said, well, there's a Swami named Prabhupada on Pico Boulevard. First temple I went to was La Cienega, early 70. Pico was like 67, 68. And they said, he taught us this mantra. You want to sing it with us? And of course it was Hare Krishna mantra. And so this was Prabhupada coming to me through people who weren't even exactly devotees, but they'd heard the chanting from the lips of a pure devotee. Prabhupada actually said that the earth has chakras, and one of them is on Laguna Beach. At that time at Laguna Beach, 1/3 of the high school was vegetarian. And so Prabhupada sent people to Laguna to open a temple because I remember as I first saw devotees, there was Tamal Krishna and a few others. Those Buddhists over there? I said, no, those are the Hare Krishna devotees. But I didn't get a chance to see them in Laguna. But the devotees in Laguna would tell my friends that for real spiritual life, you have to give up illicit sex and intoxication. So they said, we'll do that someday, but not yet. And sometimes for people, the seed needs to be planted. Not everybody's ready to do it yet, but if they hold the ideal on their head and try to work towards that, at least that's some sort of progress. And so I used to go to my special meditation rock. I'd found a book in the mystic arts world called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and it said bhakti means that I just ask some way to develop love of God. So I would go to my rock and pray, and on January 5th, 1970, I got this strong inspiration that if I really want that, I have to give up illicit sex and intoxication. I thought, well, it's January. What I'll do is date a few more girls from the high school, and I'll give it up in June when high school's out. Sounds like a good idea, right? Isn't it? And we don't have to be so conservative, right? Then I thought, wait a minute. If it's a good idea, I should do it. And if it's not a good idea, why would I do it at all? So I felt like this, God was giving me some kind of inspiration. And I'll tell you why in a second. I said, all right, God, this is kind of a tall order, but I'll give up these things, and you send me some way to develop love for you. And I thought, how long will it take me? A week, a month, a year? I opened my eyes, and as far away as Prabhupada is over there was a devotee in saffron walking towards me. Didn't take me any week, month, or year, did it? So I said, Hare Krishna, that's what I'm supposed to do? And he came up and I said, what are you doing down here at the beach? He said, well, I was up on the cliff. These beaches had cliffs where you'd walk down about maybe 30, 40 stairs to get to the beach, and we were having our chanting kirtan up there. And all of a sudden I had this uncontrollable compulsion to come down to the beach. I was like, this is why Krishna was pushing me, because the opportunity was right there, right? It's like the people that have come see Prabhupada, he's speaking at Lakshmi Narayan, and then they missed it, and you missed it, right? So Krishna's pushing me, look, the opportunity's here. I got these devotees one beach away. You do it now, I'll send it. So he sent him down, and he said, would you like to come chant with us? I said, I think that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. So I started going to the temple, and very quickly after that, Prabhupada came back to LA, and we would stay at the temple Saturday night and help the devotees make a feast and go to Los Angeles. And when I first saw Prabhupada, he was effulgent. We would chant outside the La Cienega, and the car would pull up, and Prabhupada would get out, and he would walk through the crowd, and he would lead the chanting, then he would give the class, and he would lead the chanting for Artik. So the second time I was there, everyone lined up for Prabhupada to touch them on the head as he was leaving, and there was no room for me. So I knelt down in the gutter by the car, and so the door opened here, and Prabhupada passed me. And then when it shut, he looked at me and said, oh, Hare Krishna, and he got back out of the car, and he touched me on the head. And so I immediately felt like I'd been released of all kinds of past karma. And this is what comes in contact with Prabhupada, because as he said in the talk, he passes this knowledge intact. You have to pass the formula as it is. If the recipe for a cake says 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, cook at 200 degrees for 1 hour. If you say, well, I'll add 2 of sugar and only 1 of flour and cook for 4 hours, will you get the same? No. You have to follow what comes in the disciplic succession. If we drop the fruit or add something to it or take something out, then something is missing. And Prabhupada had the pure love, and he had the caring for us, and he passed the knowledge as it is. So what behooves us is to follow these instructions, chant clearly, asking for Krishna's mercy. Most of you are just naturally Krishna conscious. You don't have to beg for Krishna's mercy, but I find I have to wake up real early and slap my mind around and beg for Krishna's mercy. And that works for me, so it'll probably work for others too. And it's only because I learned that this works by coming in contact with Prabhupada and watching the things that he would do. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Shri Prabhu. We now have the pleasure to listen to His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Yachunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desatarini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. We are fortunate we heard about Prabhupada disciples, how they met and how they interacted with Srila Prabhupada. I never met Prabhupada. 1970 and 71 I used to see Western devotees in Calcutta, Dharamtala street, which is known as the Esplanade, doing the Kirtan. But we were unable to, we can't meet with the foreigners those days. It is wartime, almost approaching the wartime, so we are prohibited to talk or approach any Westerners. After coming to the ISKCON, contact 1991 with the devotees in Botswana first time. 86 I met for a short while in Washington the devotees from ISKCON. That time I didn't know anything about ABC of ISKCON. Only we used to hear the word ISKCON and Hare Krishna. In the cinema, that time the cinema Hare Krishna mantra was there. So, after returning Botswana, then I happened to come in contact with the devotees who came from London to start business and establish Krishna Consciousness Society also there. First, when I read the book Sense of Self-Realization, that made me why one should have a guru in the life. Before that we used to read Bhagavad, so many things, but we never had the guru requirement. But Sense of Self-Realization, Srila Prabhupada wonderfully explains why a guru is required. And what is the purpose of human form of the life, also Srila Prabhupada writes it. Then after that, when we read it, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita also, first we read all Bhagavad Gita. In the introduction, Srila Prabhupada writes very wonderfully. The purpose of human form of the life, what we should do. While explaining the devotional service of the Lord is the most important aspect of the human form of the life, he quotes from the Gita Upanishad also said, Eko Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Devaki Putra means Sri Krishna. His Gita is, song is Bhagavad Gita. In the introduction, Srila Prabhupada also writes that Bhagavad Gita must be read in the spirit of understanding that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you don't have that understanding, then reading Bhagavad Gita we can't get anything. So whatever the words spoken by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, one should take it as a word spoken by Supreme Lord. And they are Vedas. What is the Veda? Veda is nothing but words spoken by the Supreme Lord is the Veda. And because the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the Mahabharata, Shanti Parva, and as such Mahabharata also comes under category of the Veda, which is called fifth Veda. We got the four Vedas, but Mahabharata also taken as fifth Veda because Bhagavad Gita is the part of the Mahabharata. So when we read the introduction, in the beginning, the devotees told that we should read Bhagavad Gita introduction, try to understand each and every sentence there. And Prabhupada stresses on the devotional service. Prabhupada always stresses that one should have human form of the life is meant for achieving a perfection. And perfection is engaging in the loving devotional service of the Lord. Before that, I used to read the Ramakrishna Mission book also when I was in 1969-70. Nobody talks about what is the bhakti. Everybody says bhakti, bhakti, but nobody says what is the bhakti. But Prabhupada's words in the purpose give the what is bhakti exactly. No one ever given the clear definition of the bhakti. Sarvopad vinurmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena sasyavanam bhakti ruchyate. The Prabhupada's writings, every word is understandable very clearly. There is no doubt in what he writes it. If you understand Prabhupada's writings, there is no doubt at all. That a great acharyas can also write it who got the realization. You can see it before Srila Prabhupada, there are so many acharyas went to West also, even America, Swami Vivekananda went. But they all preached the impersonalism. Nobody taught the personal aspect of the Lord. But Srila Prabhupada went and taught the personal aspect of the Lord, worshipping. That's why in every verse where you write the Supreme Lord says, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says that Lord has got the body, form. Satchidananda Vigraha. He stresses on the Vigraha. That purpose gives a lot of impression for the newcomers. The Lord is a human form like you and me. Once we are doing the put for life in one tribal area in Botswana, when you are talking about the God has the form, one of the pastors in the church was also there. He was saying, yes, my friend, Bible also said God made the human being on his own image. We also accept the God, Lord has the form. And Prabhupada made it very clearly. Lord is not impersonal, is a human body like you and me. The Lord's body in the 400 form is not attractive to anyone, but the 200 form of the Lord is very, very attractive. That's why Prabhupada says Shama Sundara. So that writings of Prabhupada in the purports of the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and CC also there, they're very impressive it is. Anyone reading, Srila Prabhupada says that anyone reads my books, their life will change. What your lecture is going to change, the half an hour you talk and go. After that you will forget. But if you give one book to them, if they read one page, his life will be changed. That's true. Any page, anywhere in the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, any purport you read it, that purport makes us to think of ourselves. Prabhupada says the purpose and goal of human form of life is engaging in the loving devotional service of the Lord and going back to Godhead from where we all have come. The speciality is Prabhupada's writings that in all other literature other than ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada's writings, they write bhakti as a devotional service. And Srila Prabhupada stresses loving devotional service. That what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is for, to teach how one should serve the Lord with the love it is. And Srila Prabhupada stick to that point that devotional service, serving the Lord with the love, now not as a duty. It is a speciality of Srila Prabhupada writing that, the loving devotional service. How to love Krishna with the love in his purpose elaborately explains. And when we serve the Lord with loving devotional service, there is nothing for a human being which he cannot obtain it. In the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam, you see 6th chapter, Prahlad Maharaj says that, Tushte cha tatra kimalabhyamanantamadye kim traigunya vetikara adiye swasiddha. Prahlad Maharaj says that by serving the Lord, when the Lord is satisfied with our loving devotional service, then nothing a devotee cannot get it. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, following the religious principles and economic development, these all are just material. When the devotee engages in loving devotional service, Prahlad Maharaj said that you will get everything what you wanted. What is good for us, Lord will give us. And the purpose Srila Prabhupada mentions very clearly that there is nothing which a devotee cannot get it. If you want to go to heaven, Lord says, oh, go. I want to give something higher, but you want to go to heaven, go. But if you want to go back to spiritual world to serve the Lord. The beauty of the devotional service explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada wonderfully explains to us that we are serving the Lord not for our happiness. We are serving the Lord for His happiness. So this specific way of writing, that serving the Lord for His happiness, no other acharyas will find other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings and Prabhupada teachings. Time up, I think. Okay. So Prabhupada's books, when we read it, we get inspired to take up to the devotional service, Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. We're really sorry that something as important as this would have taken about 2 hours, maybe. We can arrange it again if we are fortunate to have all of them together. So this is a question. Before I ask the ones that have been WhatsApp to me, who would like to ask the question now directly? We'll hand you the mic. Okay, Shyam. Shyam is a national debating.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the mercy. I just have a question on behalf of the youth. For us youth who haven't quite met Srila Prabhupada physically, how can we develop that loving relationship with him?
Yes, that's a very important question, but there's also a very simple answer. Prabhupada is present in his instructions, which are particularly there in his books, but also the recordings of his classes and so on. And so that's the main thing. But then also, if you associate with those who are following Prabhupada nicely and who understand Prabhupada, they can give you Prabhupada. And we see it happens to so many people who have not met Prabhupada. They get his books, they meet devotees, and they really develop personal relationships with Krishna, with Prabhupada like that.
Would you like to add to that, Ramanujacharya?
Yes, Srila Prabhupada said, if you want to know me, read my books. And Prabhupada would stay up late in the middle of the night translating his books. So the books are very important. He wanted us to distribute the books and also study the books.
Thank you. Shri Prabhu, you want to comment?
Well, obviously the same things. I remember when I would do the Mangal Artik in Mumbai in '71, I'd hear Prabhupada translating in the next room. So I had some access to it. But actually you have more access because you can pick the book up and read it. And they have the devices that Bhakti Brihad Swami is very big on with all the Prabhupada lectures, and the book tells you which lecture on which verse, and you can hear Prabhupada's voice talking about particular subject matters. So obviously the lectures and the books are the way we stay in touch with Prabhupada. You know, most of us didn't follow Prabhupada at every moment of every day. We did in our actions, but not physically. Prabhupada spent his time translating books, and he had his secretaries he was dealing with. So it isn't as if you see Prabhupada here on the video giving the class, which is kind of amazing because the video camera was not common back then. I think they had to dub in the words later, because only the movie people had video cameras in that time. So by watching that, you're in touch with Prabhupada, and by studying the books, and by putting some of it into practice. Just like if you read a book from someone how to play a guitar, and then you do it, you see, oh, it works. I learned how to do it from this famous guitarist. So that's what we do by reading the books and following his teachings and discussing it. I like to come up with different riddles for people to make them concentrate on what the philosophy behind something is. Prabhupada emphasized his Bhagavad Gita so much. You know, there's only 700 verses in there, which means they must be important verses. So we need to be fluent in some of these things. Understand the verses and Prabhupada's explanation, and that will bring us close to Prabhupada. We feel his presence. He said he put his ecstasies in the books. If you want ecstasies from Prabhupada, then you read them. If you're interested in something else, you do that instead. But the result won't be as good, of course.
Thank you, Shri Prabhu. So, Maharaj, you'd like to comment? No. So there's following from that question, there's a question that says, why should the world want to know about Srila Prabhupada? Why should the world want to know about Srila Prabhupada? Anybody can answer that? Who would like to? Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. If you want to, question is why one should know Srila Prabhupada. If you want to know or if you want to achieve the very purpose of human form of the life, and the Prabhupada books purports will give enlighten us in that. Whether Acharya is the proper Acharya, Parampara, how we know it? By reading his writings, by hearing the lectures. Prabhupada never said that by doing this one you will get this material benefit. Only he always talk about Krishna and how to go back to Krishna, nothing else. So if you want to understand Prabhupada, read the books and get our second generation fortunate that now they compile all the Prabhupada lectures, more than 4,000 in one pen drive. By hearing Prabhupada lectures constantly and reading his books, we get it. We can understand Prabhupada. We get to know Prabhupada. And we also get to know his mission also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So what we'll do is hand the mic to you rather than using the stand. Prabhu can do that. So there are overlapping questions that Shyam had asked about the youth and how they would be able to understand and associate with Srila Prabhupada. But there's also one now from the parent devotee parents are often concerned about their youth, I guess meaning their children, their practice of Krishna consciousness and allegiance to Srila Prabhupada's teachings. So how can we support, the parents, how can we support youth staying connected to Srila Prabhupada, particularly as they're growing up in a materialistic culture? Any responses? Ramanujacharya, you want to take that? Should I repeat that? The question?
As a parent.
Yes, the parents are concerned how to keep their youth loyal to Srila Prabhupada in a materialistic culture.
I think first of all, you have to teach by example. You can't force people, I don't know what else to say. Prabhupada grew up in a Krishna conscious family, but not all his children followed. And he gave them Krishna consciousness, but we try our best. This is something I wanted to say before. If you if you find it difficult to read the books, if you give me a memory stick and you have some way to play it, I can put the Krishna book read by Amala Bhakta Swami on the memory stick, and you can listen to the Krishna book by Srila Prabhupada. Anyway, we have to try our best, and we have to teach by example.
Thank you. Shri Prabhu, you want to respond to that? Oh, sorry, Maharaj first. You had the mic, sorry.
Oh. Well, what can parents do with their children who are youths? Ramanujacharya Prabhu made a very important point. Set a good example of Krishna consciousness, but you can also help with the development of programs within ISKCON which are youth-oriented. Yeah, because younger people at different stages of life, they have different attractions, different interests in terms of their situation in life. And when you're old, you see life differently from like teenagers or students who may be plus or minus 20 or so. So one should help develop programs for the young people. Yeah. And encourage them to participate in those programs, like, as an example, Kirtan Melas. The young people, old people also, they like Kirtan, but the young people, in so many cases, they're really into it. So that's an example of a program which is, at least to a substantial degree, youth-oriented. So if you're a parent, you should take part in helping to organize and facilitate such youth-oriented programs. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Shri Prabhu?
I think the thing to do is realize with children that you don't let them run totally wild till about 14, and then at 14 try to rein them in and show the things. If they see that you, using Krishna conscious values, get through difficult things, like when I went through the death of a son and the things, then they will understand to come to you. And if you pray to Krishna and you're in good spiritual consciousness, Krishna will send you children who are honest and Krishna conscious. And the thing is to be happy with whatever degree they have. Don't make them think whatever you did, it wasn't enough. I know one devotee man, he says, I don't know why my daughter doesn't do well in school. I said, maybe you shouldn't tell her you can't do anything correctly. Now he tells her that. Of course she doesn't feel like she should succeed. So you encourage them. You tell them that when things are difficult, you turn to Krishna and he helps you through the things. You show it like a salesperson. You don't tell them, you have to do this because I tell you. You want them to see that the benefits of this outweigh what you have to do. Praying to Krishna and chanting his name is simple, and the benefits are very great compared to other things. So you see it, Krishna does that in Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't do like some biblical things that you go to hell for this and hell for that. He gives the things like the mode of ignorance. You do this action, you get this result. Mode of passion, you get this result. Mode of goodness, you get this. Transcendental, you get this. He goes more or less through the cost to reward system. So you let them know in a general way, just like Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita, the things that are going on and how the mind works and how you can keep yourself peaceful. But you do it in a bit of a detached way. Not that you're trying to force it on them, but you're giving something to them that could be something beneficial for them to use. I mean, the difference is, hey, I want you to come to this temple because I like people to do what I'm doing. And you need to listen to me because I've been doing this over 50 years, so you need to shut your mouth and open your ears. Or if I say, you know, I found some things in this Gita that help me out. Maybe we can look through it together and help you out. And look at it in that way, showing the benefit of it and showing that you have their best interest at heart, that you only want to share the things with them when they need to have it shared. You look at Lord Chaitanya sat in the back when the impersonalist swamis are going on and on and on. And finally he says, what do you think? He says, well, I'm glad you asked, right? And then he explains to them when they're ready for it. So quite often you have to wait until people are ready, but you let them know, and the children too, that you're available and you love them no matter what.
We'll stop at that point because we have a few minutes. I could end with this question, and I'll ask His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj to respond. This is, we could say, a technical and a very important question to understand Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is called the founder Acharya of ISKCON. What does that mean?
Yes. Okay. Founder Acharya is a specific role, a specific service, a term for a specific service. Founder and Acharya. Acharya means one who teaches by example. Founder Acharya, the specific application is that in the line, like in our line's been going for a really long time, like even millions of years, from when Lord Krishna personally instructed Lord Brahma, the creator. And then time went on. Lord Chaitanya came 500 or so years ago, and he acted as founder Acharya in the sense that he introduced, or not introduced, but gave special emphasis to certain activities within Krishna consciousness, which were particularly relevant at that time. In that case, it was chanting the holy names. So therefore, in that sense, Lord Chaitanya can be called a founder Acharya. He sort of founded, not the line was already existing, but he founded a particular form of the line focused on a particular activity. So Srila Prabhupada did the same thing. Srila Prabhupada presented Krishna consciousness the chanting was definitely there, but certain aspects of Krishna consciousness which were already there, but he gave them particular emphasis because they were really very relevant at that time. For example, the distribution of literature. If you went back to the time of Lord Chaitanya, if you wanted a copy of Bhagavad Gita, you didn't just go to the temple shop and buy one and walk out and now you've got it. First of all, you had to put in an order with the scribe who had to write it out by hand for you. And then you had to come back in a month or a couple of months. If you wanted a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam, you had to come back, I don't know, in a year or two maybe. But Prabhupada, because of the activity of mass production of literature, Prabhupada had the scriptures mass produced so that they were available for everyone. This was never done before, not on that scale. Of course, study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, that was already there naturally and of great importance. But this is just one example of Prabhupada giving a particular form, you could say, a particular focus of the existing line of Krishna consciousness, but giving it a particular form in terms of like current situations. Another thing is, going back to the time of Lord Chaitanya, or even not that far, going back maybe 100 years, 100 and something years, ladies in Krishna consciousness, they only really, there was no prominence for ladies. They should be wives and mothers, and the husband would just, do the main things in Krishna consciousness. But Srila Prabhupada facilitated ladies, for example, going out and doing book distribution and preaching publicly. So this is another aspect which was never done before. So therefore, because Prabhupada not exactly introduced something new, but gave particular emphasis to certain things which were already existing in the line, because he gave really special emphasis to those things, then he is considered, and he himself said that he was founder Acharya.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Each one of these questions can take a whole program, Sunday program. And several questions have come in. There's been a flurry in the last few minutes. But we can mark these questions for further discussion at other times and perhaps reconstitute something like this again in the future. So let us offer our appreciation, our gratitude to our four panelists. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj ki, His Grace Ramanujacharya Prabhu ki, His Grace Shuddhi Prabhu ki, His Holiness Ram Govinda Swami Maharaj ki. Thank you so much. So we may overlap into the Aarti for about 5 minutes, but very quickly. Today the Sunday Love Feast has been prepared by the Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Temple residents, led by Sukumari Mataji. Sponsorship for festival bookings are open. End of this month is Lord Nityananda's appearance day on the 31st January. Please go to the book counter where the team will help you with that. In a short while, in a few minutes, there is a 5 minutes promo for the wonderful play that's coming up called Radha Dasya this Saturday and the 10th of January. But before we hand over to them, and before we ask our panelists perhaps to move over to the seats to see the promo, we have a very wonderful initiative that's been done by two devotees, Kamlesan and Subhashni. Every Sunday they sponsor 10 books. So for For those of you who are new today, raise your hands again. I saw you in the audience there. Are you still around? Please come forward to receive this gift. Maharaj, you can hand that. She's come. Any others, very quickly, who do not have Srila Prabhupada's but who are new, please come forward. Give each one, yeah. So this is your wonderful gift for 2026. Is anybody else? Yes, come this way, Mataji, to Shuddhi Prabhu. Thank you very much. Don't be shy. Anybody else? Come quickly, then we can get to the Aarti quickly. It's Hare Krishna. One more or two more? We have two more gifts. Hare Krishna. And the last one. Prabhu, you can go over there. Let's have another Haribo! Maharajas, Prabhus, if you would like to watch this promo for Radha Dasya, we ask you to please move over onto that. Get some assistance here to move these chairs and table. Can we just push them back? Take them out. Okay, sorry. So while they're setting up, Maharaj, would you like to just comment on what you thought about this interaction we had today?
Oh, I thought it was great, but there was one serious problem. There was not enough time. We should have had an extra hour, because, the devotees, the people, the audience was just warming up. They tend to sort of hang back initially, but after a while they say, hey, yeah, let's get into it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely try to do something like this in the future where we can have Q&A for 2 hours. Would you like that? All right. Thank you so much. Rukmini, you ready? Okay, let's hand over to Rukmini, who's the producer, director, writer of this play that's going to be held at the Milkwood Theatre. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'm not going to say much. I'm going to let the actors do the talking. We'd like to present today's promo for Radha Dasya.
Understood? Good. And how does the defendant plead?
Your Honor, for the official record, my client acted under extreme provocation. There was drama of her calcula. Arista was a demon, like a terrorist, and therefore this act. Upadharma, or situation as stated Vishnu Purana, section. Oh Krishna, what are the sections? My legal memory is fading. Section! No, money, no rice, sugar, syrup.
The entire offense is corrupt. And how does the defendant plead? Did you or did you not kill the bull?
I did.
Guilty. The defendant has admitted being guilty. Srila is our legal queen. What is her suggested punishment? The Lord Jesus, fill with the Holy Spirit, grant all of his goodness, our aid in all of his goodness. Krishna, perhaps you say, oh, never shall we go to the eyes and hear. Again, this Krishna really killed Bull. Will we have to leave Vrindavan and travel the three worlds? Will Radha ever see him? Find out what we did to Radha. Online by scanning the QR code on the poster.
For action, here does it begin here.
Thank you very much. That was very wonderful. I'm sure you whet the appetite of everybody, and you're going to get a full house. So you can please pick these tickets and pay for them, and have a wonderful Saturday in Mulkwood Theatre. So we want to rise for the Aarti. We have quite a crowd in here today, which is very wonderful. Those in the doorway, as soon as everyone stood up, you can come in. Thank you again to our panelists. Thank you to Rukmini. Please help us with the chairs. Stack them up. So let's hear Hari Bol for the Sunday Love Feast. Hari Bol.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnaya Bhutare Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Devi Vishesha Shunyavadi Paschachare Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes, Maharaj. I might want to say now also.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Turn your name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Mishtapad, Paramahansa, Parivrajakacharis, Tadasi Samad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON's founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada ki, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se Gahus Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki, Shishi Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Dham ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Shishi Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Shri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Shri Shinatai Gaur Premanande. All glories to their Samal devotees, all glories to their Samal devotees, all glories to their Samal devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasingaya. Pralada Lada Dayane. Hiranyakashipu Bhaksha. Silatam Kanakalaye. Etonra Singa Paratonra Singa. Yato Yato Yamitatonra Singa. Bahen Singa Ridaen Singa. Narasinghamadem Sharanam Prapadye. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamadputa Shrengam Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tano Brengam Keshavadrita Narahari Ropa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Nrsingadev, Nrsingadev, Akesavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Nrsingadev, Nrsingadev, Jai Nrsingadev, 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 Nrsingadev. Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Sri Nrsingadev Bhagavan ke, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ke, Srila Prabhupada ke, Gaur Premanande, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Thank you, everybody, for gathering here today for this very, very ecstatic Sunday Love Peace program. Haribo! So this is how the Hare Krishnas have New Year parties. So join us every Sunday for the Love Feast program. We're going to ask you invite you all to take prasadam. There are some new persons who have joined us today, so devotees, please assist them to show them where the prasadam is being served. Down the ramp to your left. Kindly allow the elderly to the front of the line. Mothers with babies to the front of the line. And our guests who have come for the first time. Please help. Sarira vidya jao. Jyotantriya tahe kao. Jiva file vishaya sagare. Taramadya jivati. Lobha masudharmati. Take jeta katina samsare. Krishna bara doyamoy. Kori bara jiva jai. Swaprashad nadilo bhai. Sayanamrita power. Radha Krishna guna gawa. Premeda ko Chaitanya nitai. Jai Nimai. Jai Nitai. Shri Radha Radhanath Bhagavat Mahaprasad ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.